Today I'm going to show you how to shred chicken the fastest way. We're also going to talk about how to make shredded chicken. And you're probably thinking, Carrie, that's silly. But actually having shredded chicken on hand, frozen in your freezer or in your fridge is perfect for quick lunches, super quick dinners, casseroles, quick soups, burritos, I mean, you name it. So it's something that you really need to learn how to do, but you're going to be shocked how easy it is to do. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com. We're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. Now, having shredded chicken ready to go is a huge budget saver. And the reason is that I'm going to show you at the end of the video how you can take shredded chicken and make multiple recipes in 10 minutes or in 15 minutes. So even if you have frozen shredded chicken in your freezer, you can still have dinner done in 15 minutes. Now, I want you to check out the link in the description. It shows you how to make shredded chicken, plus it gives you some of our favorite shredded chicken recipes for you as well. I would love it if you would drop a comment right now. Sorry, you can see my puppies walking through, hoping for food on the floor. Maybe there is. I like to drop little treats on them for them when I'm doing a video to keep them kind of quiet. But let me know below if you make shredded chicken. So meaning, like, do you keep shredded chicken in your freezer or in your fridge for quick dinners and quick lunches? I would love to know in the comments below. And also, since we talked about puppies, let me know your dog's name below. And if you're not a dog lover and you got a cat, you can drop them too as well. First, we're going to add our boneless, skinless chicken breast. You can do this exact same recipe with boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Honestly, you could do bone-in too. This is just a lot faster. And we did about 5 chicken breasts because we want to make it quite a bit, so that way we can freeze it for prep. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. We keep our seasonings minimal, so that way it'll be great for any recipes. Then you're just going to add enough water. Sorry, making a mess. Sorry for my baby. You just want to make sure the water covers the chicken breast and you have at least an inch above the chicken breast. Then we're going to turn this on high and bring this to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to add the lid. Oh, I got the too big of a lid. I'll swap it out to the smaller lid. And then we're going to reduce the heat down to like medium and let it simmer for 20 to 30 minutes until that chicken is basically falling apart. It's been cooking for about 30 minutes. I checked it a few times, but it's finally ready. You'll know when it's ready, like when you can stab it with the fork and see how I can just kind of pull it apart real easily. That's when you know it's fork tender and it's ready to be shredded. We're going to remove this from the heat so I can show you how to shred it. So I removed it from the heat. It smells really good. Now you're going to see that there's like broth in here. Don't get rid of that. Let's use that broth. You can save it for when you're eating chicken broth, and you can actually freeze it too. Okay, so we're going to remove this from the water and let it cool slightly. I'm just going to place this in a bowl. You can also do on a cutting board if you want to shred it with 2 forks. Now, we're just going to quickly talk about the different ways that you can shred chicken, and then I'm going to show you my trick for the fastest way to shred chicken. So this right here, we're going to save the leftovers. I'm going to move this aside. Now, the first way you can do it is by using your hands. Literally, you just pick it up and you shred it with your hands over the bowl and it will shred and fall apart. However, the problem is that my chicken's really hot. See the steam coming off of it? I'm going to have to wait to do that until the chicken is completely cool, or at least cool enough for me to touch. Not my favorite way. Second way is to just use 2 forks. And you just take 2 forks and you literally just poke it in the chicken and pull it apart. Use this method all the time, and it's very easy to do. The con with that is it can be a little time consuming. Another way is you can use a large knife and a fork to shred the chicken. So you can cut it into pieces. Like if you don't love long shredded pieces in your meals, you can actually just cut it up with a large knife into pieces and it falls apart, but you have more of the bite-sized pieces versus the stringier pieces. There's also this new gadget on Amazon that I want to test, and it's like a plate with spikes on it. You put your chicken in, you place it, and you go like this. So I think in the future, Christina and I will have a race to see which one's faster. My method right now that I'm about to show you, or that method. So stay tuned, looking for reels, because I think that would be a really fun cook-off on which one's the fastest way to shred chicken. But this is my fastest way, and it's using a hand mixer or like your KitchenAid, a stand mixer. They both do the exact same work. But what's so great about this is that you can shred all of this chicken in like a fifth of the time it would take you to do it with your 2 forks. So the trick is for that is I let it cool slightly, but it can still be warm. I try to not have any liquid in here or very minimal liquid because I don't want it to splash up on me. You put the hand mixer into the bowl and then put it right into the bottom of the bowl. And then then you'll start just moving it around. But don't leave it on the top. You want to keep it down at the bottom. That prevents chicken from going crazy all over the place. Let's turn it on, and I'm slowly moving it around. My chicken is already shredded. Look at this. Perfectly shredded. And the best part about it is you can decide how thick and how little shred that you want. So I did a pretty not too thin shred. And the thing that I love about this over the 2 fork method is that they tend to be smaller, not as long shredded pieces, because that hand mixer kind of breaks it up. So look at that, perfectly shredded chicken. Now that you have the fastest shredded chicken, now remember, you can do this for any recipe that you need to shred chicken. So even if you have a soup, you just remove it from the crock pot, place it in a bowl. I kind of like a bowl with a higher lid, and then use this method. And my favorite part is everything is dishwasher safe. So no crazy gadgets to get this done. Now, the only thing that's left to do is, now if this was just a regular recipe, you can toss this back into your crock pot or your soup and make it. But I really love this for meal prepping, and I want to give you some tips. Now, when it's warm still, we need to let it cool. I normally like to lay it out on like a cookie sheet so it will cool really, really fast. Because right now it's still warm, and we don't want to put it in the freezer or even the fridge until it's cooled off. Different ways that you can freeze them. You can freeze them in whatever you think your family will need, but I love freezing them in 1 cup and 2 cup increments, because most recipes, got the hiccups in it, will call for, like if you're making a casserole, it'll say you need 1 cup of cooked chicken or 2 cups of diced chicken. And so I kind of like to do it in the 1 cups and 2 cups, place them in quart-sized freezer bags and label them 2 cups cooked shredded chicken. And then you can make any dinner so quick. So let's give you some ideas. Oh wait, before I do that, I want to talk about one more thing. You can also use a food scale. Now, we have been pretty big on counting macros around here, and I love this idea, because if you need to be eating 4 ounces of cooked chicken or 5 ounces or 6 ounces, then you can freeze them in those ounces already for you. That's so great for making tacos and quick lunches, so you can do that as well. I also wanted to remind you that we have a link for this food scale. I can't think of words today. And any of the stuff that we use today, including my favorite KitchenAid hand mixer. I've had this thing for ages, and it's holding up great. One more tip before we talk about recipes and go is, if you notice that it's a little dry, you can add some of that broth back in. So after you've mixed it up, you can spoon a little broth. That way, when you reheat it, like let's say you microwave it, it has more moisture into it, and it's not just dried chicken, like dried, feels overcooked chicken. Add a little moisture in there before you place them in the freezer bags. Okay, a few recipes. Let's talk about them. We have a whole post for the best recipes for shredded chicken. So now that you know how to do this and you can meal prep, you're going to be able to make dinner done so fast in 15 minutes. For example, I can take some frozen shredded chicken. It's completely frozen. I'm going to toss it in my skillet, put like a half a cup of water in a lid, steam it. When it's done, I'm going to throw in taco seasoning and salsa. Heat it through, and you just made the best chicken tacos in minutes. A soup, if you need a recipe that calls for soup, you can throw in the frozen chicken into the soup, and it will fall out and reheat, and you can make soup that you would normally make on your crock pot all day, and you can make it on the stovetop in 15 minutes. Now, those are just 2 of some of my favorite ways, but you can do them for quesadillas, chicken pasta casseroles, burritos, put it on, make chicken salad, there's so many recipes, and that's why I want you to check out our posts on the best recipes for shredded chicken. I hope today helped you guys out. I know this seems so simple, but if you add this simple trick to your routine, it's going to be a game changer for your meal planning and your money saving. Now, if you love today's video, please like and subscribe. We are loving the community here. We love your feedback and your comments, and I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you love today's recipe, please leave us a comment and let us know. But go to eatingonadime.com and you can leave a review as well, because that's the best way that we can hear from you. Thanks so much for joining me, guys, and I will see you next time in my kitchen for another family-friendly recipe. Bye, guys.